Look into the camera. Do you see your reflection?
I can see it.
Alright, let me get at it. Come here.
I made a name for myself before Instagram or social media even existed. Like, just by pure traveling and meeting people and, I don't know, having fun. And, like, the only way I had to express myself at those times was, like, helping to edit all these skate videos, you know? Like, Let's Live, like, I spent, 3 weeks editing that with my friend Peanut and Jamie Fazakali. And it was a really tough time because it was meant to be called Beyond Thunderdome. And then Shane died and we called it Let's Live.
Wow.
And it's a fucking great video. Like, even the fish tank in the credits, if anyone watches it after this interview, like, that was my idea, like, putting the names in the fish tank and stuff like that. Like, creative side of my life.
Yeah, and it was like, I think that video is like Jake Duncombe, Chima Ferguson, Shane Cross.
Joe Peace. And look at Joe Peace's stuff on Instagram where he does all the weird, like, loops. Like, it was, like, pre-AI, all the stuff he was doing, too. And, yeah, Lewis, Jake Duncombe, Shane Cross, Chris Wood.
Louis Marnell.
Yeah, Lewis is, like, he's one of my best friends. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Such a different time period of skateboarding, too. Just that era of skating was completely different.
Yeah, we're really happy with Volcom to have let us do it. I just had this idea. We're in Thailand, and I had this idea to do an all-Australian skate video, which no one had really done for American commercial style. And, yeah, we were in the van, and I was like, let's do an all-Australian one, like, to get everybody out, like. And then, yeah, it worked for Chima. Shane didn't last too long before that, I guess. And, yeah, I don't know. It just, like, well, what can I say? A lot of people say that that's their favorite video. A lot of people say, like, Baker 3 is their favorite video. And, like, I'm happy that I had my hands on the computer for a couple of these editings,
Yeah. How did you end up getting into the position where you were editing them?
Basically, like, we were doing these Australian videos called Play, and basically when John Mino would come in town, and Ty Evans, who did the best Transworld videos, obviously, they would come over to my house and I'd have a barbecue and they would teach me how to edit, basically. So it was like, I got taught by, like, some of the best video editors ever. And also for me, it's like, it's very interesting, like, because I love music so much, to put it to skating, Like, it's basically you making a music video.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I mean, and I was talking to a musician last night at Julia Pierce's gig, and she was like, yeah, having my music in a skate video changed my whole career, and that's what we do,
Yeah.
Like, if think about Moby in the Transworld video that Ty put in there, like, that made Moby famous.
Yeah.
So a lot of musicians understand that, like, having your music in a skate video is fucking brilliant, because it reaches out to so many different, like, people. So yeah, that's the editing wise. I just loved it, and I was already making, like, music videos for, like, friends, bands, and shit like that.
Yeah. How'd you go about picking the soundtrack?
For which video?
Baker 3, even Let's Live. Like, Let's Live sound. I mean, all of them have really good soundtracks, but
Let's Live was a lot. Well, I mean, obviously my song is Mercy Seat by Nick Cave, which is a no-brainer because it's, like, one of the best songs ever written. Obviously, if Johnny Cash covered it, like, but a lot of the music was chosen between Peanut and Jamie Fazakali, actually, but I got to edit to it. It's like, wow, this song's sick. And then I think, like, a few of the songs were on the Volcom label at the time. But yeah, it's just like whatever feels natural, And Baker 3, like, Street Hassle by Lou Reed, that was Andrew's idea, which is brilliant. Like the dun 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 dun. Like no one's ever gonna listen to that song and not see a Baker, think of the Baker video that's a skater, you know? Like if that song comes on anywhere. So that was Andrew's idea. And then Ellington, like, he wanted to skate to, like, November Rain by Guns N' Roses, but of course we couldn't get the rights to it, you know? So we chose, like, Hollywood Rose, which is Guns N' Roses, like, band before Guns N' Roses, and we could get the rights to that. Like, it's a lot to do with rights and stuff like that. And then, yeah, the Biggie remix for Antoine and Baker 3, I don't know. I don't know if I was just playing it and Andrew was like that, or I don't know. It's just kind of like Andrew also with like Roxy Music song that he used or whatever. You know, it's like the way Andrew works is he like picks a song and then gets tricks to it. You know, I'm the opposite. I just was stacking tricks, and then I added to it. I think I added my part like 5 different times maybe. Because and also the funny thing about my song "Children of Bodom" was that I thought it was "Cradle of Filth." When I downloaded it, I was like, someone had chosen the wrong words for it, and it was like I had to send it to this photographer Lance Dawes, and he was like, "Dude, that's not Cradle of Filth, that's Children of Bodom." And the funny thing is in New York, I met Children of Bodom, and they were so square. And then rest in peace to the singer, but I was like, how are these death metal bands so square? Sorry, no disrespect, Children of Bodom.
It's wild too because like the skating could be great, and if the song isn't there for this the part, it could ruin the part.
No, the worst is for me is when I've had a song in mind for someone to skate to, and someone edits it shit. Like I'm like, fuck, I wanted to like use that song for somebody, because you got to pick the character of the skater and see what suits them, you know what I mean? But so the worst part is when that song that you wanted to use for somebody like comes out and the editor fucks it up. He doesn't do it to the beat. He fucks up the whole editing of the whole shit. It's like being like a music producer that puts out shit work when you were hoping it was good.
Yeah.
You know? Like editing skating is as important as editing the fucking song in the first place.
Yeah.
For me. I mean, I'm very passionate about that shit.
I mean, all the music that I got put on to from like age 10 years old to like age 19 years old was just all from skate videos.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Fired up. No, I learned so much from, you know, like you're watching like old Plan B and like, you know, you're listening to like Primus and shit like that, like Beastie Boys, like it's fucking skate videos probably inspire most musicians that became musicians if they weren't good enough to skate.
Yeah, getting the rights to the song is a crazy thing too.
Yeah, I'm working on a PD video right now, and I have some pretty good ideas of like, it's like you hear the songs and then you like think of the skaters that are in the video, and then you're like, all right, this is gonna suit this skater, and then you show it. I mean, yeah, that's the way like Andrew and I worked. Is like they didn't really get to pick their songs because we had a vision for. I mean, at least for Baker 3. Sorry, my voice is fucked from singing. Yeah, all good. But yeah, we had a vision for what people are meant to skate to. Sometimes we recommend stuff and the skater says nah, but sometimes they're just like, fuck yeah, let's go with the flow.
Yeah. How old were you when you went pro?
I went pro when I was 19 for stereo.
Yeah.
Like I got there, and then like Flip wanted me to get on Flip, and then Mickey from Deluxe. I basically was staying in Tampa. Like when I went to the Tampa Am contest, I was staying with the Flip crew, and then Mickey Reyes from Deluxe stole me, and he said I was gonna get on Anti-Hero, but because me and Tony T, like TNT, were fucking like the same age and kind of competitive against each other, and then they put me on stereo instead to try and save stereo, but that didn't work. Because the stereo turned into like a mockery of because I love the stereo videos, the old ones, you know? And then they tried to make it like really cheesy, and I was like, this is fuck. Like Element or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're pro, and at that point, like you're 19, you're pro. Are you already making a living from it, or?
No, when I got kind of like, when I left the States, I stayed for 2 years. I was 17 when I went to the States. I had $200, and I stayed for 2 years. But when I left, I forgot to give in my departure card. So they banned me from the States for 4 years. So pretty much everything in Baker 3, Baker 2G is filmed in Australia. And I was sleeping in a house that had like pigeons in the closet on like the insulation from a roof behind a couch in Bondi. And I had no money, nothing, and I was pro. They were sending me like $1,000 a month, which wasn't so bad for back then. But now, try to live off $1,000 a month, you forget about it. Yeah, but it was, pretty much a ghetto house with like someone growing weed in the fucking attic and lots of drunk violence and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like my roommate like poured a drink over me and my girlfriend, like, because he thought I was like trying to hook up with his girlfriend, which was bullshit, because he was a psychopath. And then so I jerked off in his bong for revenge.
So even though you were 19 and pro, it didn't really make like, it's not like you were living lavish like that.
I don't know, like, at what point I started to live lavish. But there was a point when I was living in Melbourne where I was making so much money where I'd just take like all of my friends to the fanciest restaurant to piss off the fanciest restaurant. That was my life. It's like, spoil all your friends.
Is that because you started living, like you started having more money? Was it from the Baker days or from like when that was super popular?
Because I had the best-selling shoe on Vans. Like, the No School was the best-selling. The DD 66 was the best-selling girls' shoe. And the new school was the best.
So when did you get on Vans at first?
I was getting America shoes like when I was 19. And then I don't even recall when I got on Vans, actually. I was pretty drunk when I was a kid. I was still kind of a kid.
So it was a while. You've been with them for a long time, though.
Vans?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been like, 25 years.
Wow.
Volcom since I was 14, so that's 30, what is that, 31 years?
Wow.
Yeah, I put in some work for these guys, but everyone spoiled me. But it's just like, it's hard when you get spoiled your whole childhood when you're from absolutely nothing to like go back into kind of nothing to. But I don't care. Look, I'm in this fucking penthouse.
Yeah. So I guess what was your upbringing like? What was your upbringing like in Australia before like going pro, before skateboarding, before any of that?
Poverty. For example, my mom, like, when we ran out of toilet paper, we'd go to the park, like the public toilet in the park, to get toilet paper because we had none. It was a bit of a weird upbringing, I would say. My mother was a bit of a drunk, and this one time, she was hooking up with this guy that had 2 hooks for her hands, and I found a kitten in the street, and he tied it up and threw it under the house. And me and my brother were always at each other's necks. But he's sweet now, but we smashed the whole house to pieces. And we had no heaters, so we're freezing cold. I come from complete poverty, basically.
Yeah.
Like, everyone said that my house was like the poorest house in town, basically. But besides that, it's like I used to like beg. Excuse me. I used to like beg at school for food, like, and get change so I was pretending I was getting food, but I would do it to buy like 2 long necks, which was $6 back then, like 240s, and then have a party in the park and orchestrate a party.
So you're coming from poverty, right? And then you end up being on Baker during like I think one of the golden eras of skateboarding. Like, I'm biased because that was the era when I first started skating. Those videos were coming out, and it was just like, but for me, that was one of the golden eras. It has to be. But you coming from this to end up doing that and living that lifestyle and being in America and being in LA and, you know, traveling the whole world, what'd that make you think?
It taught me culture, you know. Culture I'd only seen in movies. I worked at a video store for 6 years before I left, from 11 till 17.
Yeah.
And then the second flight I take, I got $200 and I'm with the best skaters in the world, which made me a better skater. Like, it's like if you're around shit musicians, you're gonna play shit. It's like when you're playing pool, if you're with a shit player, you don't even give a fuck about playing.
Yeah.
Like, your surroundings make your brain like better, you know. Mm-hmm. But for me, like, I never knew I don't know where I am now, you know. Sometimes, you know. So, but seeing all these exotic places, but that's what vacation was about. It's like I'm going to Mexico. I'm going to Frida's house, you know. Like, I'm taking a hot air balloon over the fucking pyramids at 6 a.m. You know, like, I used that what we all created, because all y'all created me. You know, like all the pros around me created me as this kind of crazy icon, but it's like I used it instead of like buying fancy mansions and shit like that and like stupid like cool cars. I used it to travel on my off time from skating, you know?
Yeah.
Like to like go study art and like see stuff, you know?
Yeah, you
People
different
just think I'm a
experience.
drunk in a bar sometimes. It's like I've fucking probably seen more culture than half the people on this fucking planet. Like, as I said, you know, being a helicopter one day to Greece or the next day sleep on the streets. That's what fucking culture is. Ups and downs, roller coaster.
Wow.
That's how I feel about it. It's like, I also feel like a lot of like American skaters are lazy that they don't travel the world when they have that money. They just want to stay in a safe place, like in their nice house. It's like, get the fuck out there. Like, YOLO, as they say in Australia. You only got one life.
Shit, man. Yeah, so you were using the money for experience and for traveling and for seeing the world and for seeing culture.
Yeah. That's all I've ever spent money on. Oh, and because I had no food when I was a kid, I go to expensive restaurants, you know? Because and my first wife was a chef, so I was like, I love that I learned. Basically, I grew up in like sausages, potatoes, and spinach every fucking night. And then I can go to fancy restaurants and be, having the nice. It was about food, actually.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it kind of gave me an eating disorder, hence why I'm so beautiful and skinny right now.
How did you meet the original Baker dudes? You're part of the original team. How did you meet them?
Well, they were on Baker at that point. Baker didn't exist when I got there. Like, Andrew, everyone was on Birdhouse. Like, Andrew and Jim was on Birdhouse. The day that I moved into the barrio, which was the place that had Andrew, Jim Greco, Jay Strickland was kind of the manager of Birdhouse, Brian Sumner, and Ali Bilal in a and Ali Khan's a vert skater in a 2-bedroom apartment. And so basically how I met them is I met this guy called Brad Hayes in Hawaii, because when I landed in America, I landed in Hawaii. I didn't know where the fuck I was. I didn't have a phone. Stayed at the airport for 6 hours. And then the next day, like, the craziest crew turned up, like Bam Margera, Brad Hayes, Alan Peterson, Remy Stratton. And then I was in Hawaii, like, we were just filming. And yeah, Brad Hayes happened to be the weed dealer for Andrew Reynolds and Ali and Ali Khan's Ali Bilal, like so. But he was like, yeah, you can't come to this house because there's an Australian kid that doesn't like you. And then he ended up getting kicked off anyway. And I moved in.
Yeah, so when you met them, they were all still on Birdhouse, about to make the transition.
Well, that was like, this is why Andrew's like so stubborn about like helping out people, because he took all the risk, because he was making so much money after the end from like the monkey board and like the end had just come out. So the risk that Andrew took to like quit Birdhouse and make Baker with a bunch of fucking drunks was a crazy risk, you know? He's like, we got the Piss Drunx, we're doing Baker. And Baker just came from the tapes. They were called the Baker tapes because like it was like about being stoned actually, but then the Piss Drunx got involved and it, like when we all started that, it's like, okay, we're not stoners anymore, we're fucking drunks. And then later, when I was in Australia, like the drugs really kicked in for them.
For the others, you're saying?
Yeah, because I was like when everyone was celebrating the fucking Baker video, Baker 2G, I was premiering in Australia because I couldn't get back in. And yeah, what can I say? Like, these guys are living in fucking Hollywood mansions smoking crack, and I'm fucking living like with pigeons behind a couch.
So you were back in Australia, and then that shit was still going on in America.
Yeah, and they gave me the last part in Baker 2G before the B section. Yeah, and I was like flattered, you know, like what the fuck? I got the last part in Baker 2G.
Yeah, no, that's wild.
Yeah, and they're like, let's give Dusty something. But I think I fucking earned it.
Yeah. So what were these people like when you first met them? Obviously, they became like family and people you traveled the world with. But like Reynolds, Jim Greco, Antoine.
Antoine wasn't on Baker then, but Greco's always been the instigator of like craziness. Like, look at all the words he's made up for skateboarding, even like hammers, hijinks. Like he's always been the boss of word lingo. But he's just always been a maniac. Like, you go on tour with him, and if the pizza takes too long, he throws pizza at the fucking worker there. I actually did that when I was editing the Shake Jump video too. I went to Subway and they wouldn't put hot meatball sauce on it, so I threw the sandwich at the person working there. But obviously it's like sometimes it's like do your job, you know. It's like where I'm staying now at the music studio. My best mate Matthew Hutchinson at Fruity Records or whatever. Like the first time we met, I poured a drink on him for sitting in my seat, and he bashed me out. And then we're best mates here.
Yeah. It was like full circle.
It is, but more about you want more about Baker or what?
Just like meeting those dudes and what it was like back then.
Well, it was confusing actually in some way because like we had Baker and then Jay Strickland wanted to start Death Wish and Greco wanted me to get off Baker because he got sober and start Death Wish, and I was like, I'm staying on Baker forever. Like, what are you talking about? And then he's like, well, okay. And then Eric and Jim left for Death Wish, like, to start with Trainwreck. No, it was, it was bootleg. Sorry, it was bootleg skateboards after that, because Jay was pissed off about, it's fucking industry talk. It's fucking boring.
Yeah.
Unless you want to know. If you
No, I just kind of want to know, like,
because bootleg, like, they took Alyssa, Trainwreck, but it could have just stayed Baker with, like, fucking 20 riders. Like, Andrew said he wants every rider on the team. And then Jay tried to call me and was like, these guys are on crack in Hollywood. Like, you don't understand what's going on. And he's like, we can do bootleg, and then you're going to be the lead guy. And I was like, I talked to Andrew and I was like, I'm not leaving Baker. Like, no way.
Yeah. What was the daily life like then?
Where?
Just early days of Baker, like touring, being like filming for Baker 3, stuff like that.
Baker 3. I remember the first time I got back to the States in 2004 no, 2003 to stop filming for Baker 3. I already took a bunch of footage with me. And then, like, the first day, like, me and Beagle were at a bar on Melrose, and it was his first time in a bar, 21 years old. It was, like, right next to Andrew's house. And then I was like, first day, all right, I'm going to go kickflip crooks to Hollywood 12. Yeah. Like, 12 tries later, done. And you always like to come into town with a bang, you know?
Yeah.
Like in New York with the kickflip wall ride and the fucking front heel down the big stairs, whatever it's called, the 5 block. Or
Yeah, yeah. I think it's like D7.
yeah, D7.
Yeah.
Come in hot and then party the rest of the fucking time.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. That era of skateboarding is just different, and I don't think that, I'm 29 now, but I talk about it with my friends like him and other people who grew up watching those, and we're like, are we just old and jaded, like older than we were and jaded, where we're like, oh, it's whack now or whatever? And I'm like, I just think that then it was really pure, and it was like kind of that those companies, which you happen to ride for, were like really presenting people with the essence of skateboarding and the essence of hanging out with friends and doing the thing.
I don't know, like, I think skating was the best. You know, like kind of like '92 when like Questionable came out and shit like that, where it was like the Questionable video, and then like the Union video of Chris Markovich was fucking great too. Like he skates and puts a fade over of one of his favorite bands behind it. It was like really like grungy and that. But then it like faded into this nothingness, and then it came back. Like I think like between Baker and Girl, like Mouse video and like then when Baker exploded, it was just like, whoa, skateboarding is back to the Hosai times when it was punk.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, these people that are in the public eye don't give a fuck about what people think about them, you know?
Yeah. And you can sense that when you're watching the videos, and that's what is attractive. That's what gives you feeling, and that's what gives you emotion when you're watching those. When you see someone like that, and you're like, oh, that's what freedom is.
But also, you could tell that we're a family.
Yeah.
We all live together, you know, like we're all on Warner Avenue. We're all best friends. Like it was like we're bringing the family back into it, you know? Like, you see some skate videos, it's like, how does this person on with the next video part even know this person? Like they have nothing in common.
Yeah, it's like transactional.
It's just like you want to see a band that can't play music together, you know? You don't want to see that. You know, what's the point of being a band if you're not a family? And we were a family. Piss Drunx is a family. Baker's family. Defwish's family.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's like usually most skaters, like most that I've known, come from a dysfunctional family, and to find a family is what skating is, and that's exactly how I felt. Like I left my town to find a family because I didn't really have one. I mean, I have my mother and brother, but they didn't want to go nowhere. No, all my boys, like. Even my Vans Europe squad, like Doobie, Fowler, Martino, fucking all the boys. Like, I don't know, we have a pretty huge squad, like Max Pack and fucking, and Paul, the filmer, homie, and fucking, like, that was also a family, it's the Vans Europe squad. Like, when I left America, I left because I felt it was falling apart. And Donald Trump got voted. I was like, I'm out of here before there's a nuclear war. And then I went to France to drink myself to death. And then I met all the Vans Europe homies. And then they became my immediate amazing family.
Yeah, I think when you're like a younger person and you just have like what you feel like is kind of a shit life, I think that skating during that time of your life really gives you this like sense of immediate relief.
Yeah, finding skating is like finding it's you find your community, you know. There is no turning back really. Like if you love it. And then it's like most skaters are musicians, artists, or in fashion, or chefs, or fucking, you know, they're all down to help you,
Yeah,
you know, until they ain't.
yeah,
Until they get too cool for their school.
yeah. Do you still pay attention to skating now, like the industry, the videos that are coming out, and all that shit?
Of course, I love skating. Like, I look at it every day, obviously. But it's like so confusing now because everyone's so fucking good. I was like, thank God I got out alive.
Yeah.
They're just incredible. Like skating is so far beyond what I ever thought I could push it to. But I mean, at least I like put a little inch hole on like getting it started, at least in my way.
Yeah, I think it's more than an inch, man. I think that you're in the world of skating, obviously, you're like a fan favorite. Everybody loves your skateboarding. I think that in the the videos that you're in, your parts are standout parts. And it's weird how that happens. Like, there's that thing that, because it's not even necessarily, isn't necessarily about the tricks that the person's doing, but it's like how they're doing them, the whole package, like with the feeling, the song, the aggressiveness, or like the style that it's doing it with. And like, I kind of feel like you had that thing.
I marketed myself well.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it's a little bit of a show. Like tell you the truth. Like I thought if someone's gonna get on stage, they have to like. Do you think musicians when they're on stage have to fucking put on such a great show? Like, I don't know. Even when I was younger, I was like, I'm gonna pretend I'm way more drunker than I am when I get to the skate park, so it surprises people. It like I don't know, like not saying it's all a facade. I was drunk a lot of the times, but acting a little bit more drunk and then getting the best tricks at a skate demo is really excites the crowd. Like he's fucked up, and then whoa, what the fuck? Like he pulled that off, even if he's drunk. You know?
Yeah, it gets them pumped.
Yeah.
So after a lifetime of pro skating, skating for mad long, how does your body feel? Is it feeling good? Is it all right?
I mean, I drink because I'm sore. I'm sore because I drink.
I read somewhere you were saying like that you have spent just as much dollars like trying to get healthy as like being not healthy or something like that. What do you mean by that?
I meant like fucking getting massages like once a week and going to physio like a lot, you know. It's like, you know, as I said like before, like going to the gym and watching dickheads just trying to get their bodies muscly for no fucking reason is a joke. So it becomes a bit harder when like I don't like people besides freaks like me. And then when I have to see these jocks in front of me like fucking doing their workouts for no fucking reason, like get a six-pack for your girlfriend. It's like, this is a six-pack for your girlfriend. You know?
I mean, now working out, like going to the gym and shit, that's like a thing that a lot of skateboarders are doing, which back in your era was unheard of.
No, I was doing it, believe it or not. Like, I would actually drink a couple beers and then go to the gym and stuff like that. Like, you know, like go and do like an hour physio. Yeah, I mean, look, like being an alcoholic, which I am, and I'm not afraid to admit it, is like, you know, like because like in the movie Barfly, yeah, it's like anyone can be a non-drunk. It takes real stamina to be a real drunk. So that includes physio and gym and everything, colonoscopies and fucking acupuncture and cupping and everything, you know? Like, how the fuck do you think I'm alive if I haven't done anything healthy, you know?
Yeah.
And then it's like, smoothies, then beer. Like, stuff like that, you know? You gotta just you got to know your levels. And like, I think my third girlfriend she owned Mr. Vitamins. Her name was Shelly. So I knew what vitamins to take if I was like, when I was drinking hard liquor, which I don't anymore. I mean, I'll do a shot every now and again, but like, I used to drink a bottle of Jaeger a day, or a bottle of vodka a day, and I don't do that. I don't drink hard liquor because I know it makes my mind fucked up.
Yeah. When did you first get into drinking?
When I was 11. So that's 20, I don't know, 33 years of drinking. And I'm still alive.
Yeah. How'd you get into it at 11?
My mom just used to make me take the bus from primary school to the pub. And the guys at the pub would like feed me a drink under the table. It's also where I learned how to play pool. And I have beaten Nuge a couple times, even though he's the best fucking pool player. And no, Nuge and Slash are the best pool players, I think. Just like Fake's the best guitar player.
I think I saw a video of Nuge playing pool. He was like for like a Supreme commercial, and he was just, and then there was probably some pro pool player doing crazy pool tricks.
Mm-hmm. Did Nuge beat him?
Probably not. This dude was crazy. The dude who was like, he was like probably a world famous pool player. The guy who was in the video, yeah.
He's like Hurricane Higgins. That was funny because I met Matt Hensley when I saw Flogging Mollies in Mexico, and he actually sent me a book to Paris of Hurricane Higgins, which is like one of the most notorious drunk pool players ever. And the book's pretty wild because he was hanging out with like Keith Moon from The Who like put dynamite in the drums and blew up all the band members' ears.
So where are you at with, you were saying that that you're an alcoholic, you're not afraid to admit it and stuff like that. Like, what's the deal with that? Like, how do you feel about that?
Well, I meet people that realize that, like, I have, like, severe anxiety, and the only thing out of, like, everything I've tried is to have a couple beers in the morning, and then my brain works perfectly. Like, that's it. Like, if people don't accept you for what you need, it's like, I don't get pissed off at drug addicts or like anyone, like, unless they slip into shooting the needle, like, which I've never done. But that's when you really slip down. Like, even like smoking crack makes me go to sleep, and like, but it's just beer for me, really, and then my occasional glass of wine. But it's an expensive habit regardless, like drinking beer like every day, chain smoking. And I only started smoking at 29, so I'm just trying to catch up. But I really don't care what anyone thinks of me, because I feel like I've done so much in my life, like, that nobody could pull off, you know? And it's like, if I can pull this off just by drinking beer and like having fun, then fuck everyone.
Do you feel like it affected your skateboarding earlier or not at all?
No, what? Half the best tricks I ever done was drunk as fuck. And like on tour, everyone drinks beers at all spots, and they usually get more done. So no, I'm pro drinker. I don't give a fuck, as long as you don't take it too far and get too messy. But when you're with a family of like skaters that like drink all day, like if you get too messy, at least you have friends that watch your back.
Yeah.
You know, it's like whoa, you took it too far last night. You know, but they don't throw you away like most motherfuckers on this planet. Like it's like pretty easy to have a drunken family. Like, who's your drunk uncle? Who's your, you know, it's like, that's your family. There's nothing you can do about it. But yeah, just as long as you don't get out of line, disrespect women or any shit like that, or fucking, like, I don't know. It's just skating and drinking. Look at P-Stone, look at Phelps, you know. Phelps is the biggest fucking cunt, rest in peace, but he still got away with it.
Yeah.
he was the leader of skating, you know. But he got so many go passes, but there's nothing you can do about that, you know.
A lot of the dudes from like the original Baker team and Piss Drunx and stuff, they ended up going clean, stopping drinking, and then advocating for that stuff. How does it feel like, I guess, seeing that and life changing and shit like that?
Well, I don't think you should push. I don't push drinking on anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't tell people to take shots. I don't tell people to drink. It's just if you're having a good time, you drink. And like, but you know, when people put up, I'm sober 190, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm drunk 190 days. What does that fucking mean? It's like polar opposite, but I also respect 100% if people realize it's damaging their life. You know, what can I do about it? People's lives are people's lives. They act how they want. I just don't force anyone into anything, and I mean, I guess I do provocate drinking a little bit, but it's like, it's my life, you know?
Yeah.
And it really doesn't have anything to do with it. If anyone can stack up fucking 18 minutes of footage being hammered, let me know.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just like in preparation for this, I was watching some of your old parts, and some fools were saying on the comment section like, oh, like he was able to do all this while drunk and stuff like that. Like, imagine if he wasn't. But I'm like, I kind of feel like that was like a part of it. Like, I feel like it was like just a part of it.
Well, I think for me, I overthink everything all the time. So basically, I drink beer to like dumb me down, so I'm like feel relaxed. You know, it's like people take Xanax to be relaxed. You know, and like, but Xanax fucks up your sleep pattern 100%, and it's a chemical. Like, beer is natural. It's like it's a natural thing. So, and then some people smoke weed to feel relaxed. You know.
Yeah.
Each to their own vices. Each human is completely different. So it's like if cocaine works for you, who the fuck was it? I think Little Fucky. Like, I seen him, like, he couldn't skate for shit, and he snorted a line of cocaine and was like the best skater ever. I've skated on LSD and mushrooms, and it was fucking amazing. Like, but every human body is completely different, and nobody can tell people what to do. Whatever makes you feel good, makes you feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, this whole interview doesn't have to be about drinking.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I like I talked to Reynolds. I interviewed him once, and then I talked to Ellington. I interviewed him once, and you know, naturally it comes up because a huge part of like the Baker videos, especially like Baker 3, and that was like not even really necessarily glorifying it, but more so you're documenting what you are actually doing this is what it is.
I don't think we put any drinking in Baker 3 actually, besides my shot to the rail.
Yeah, but just like this, essentially like inferred partying, I guess.
No, we're just trying to make our riders look fucking like rock stars.
Yeah.
Which fucking worked.
Yeah, and which is like kind of what it was.
Yeah, like Andrew just like what Andrew does is he wants to make the skaters look as cool as possible, which is it's kind of our job, you know. But they are cool as fuck, so it's not really that hard.
Yeah.
It's just like it's so simple when people are actually fucking great and amazing and crazy. Like, Andrew wouldn't put someone on that's not look at the difference between Fiotis and Figgy, you know? Like, Fiotis is fucking hilarious with what he does, with, like, up in the club shit, you know? Figgy's a rock and roller, you know? It's like, just like, we still are the most multicultural fucking board company ever. Like, there's no doubt about that.
It's weird too. Like a lot of skate companies come and go because there are trends in skateboarding and there are things come in and out of popularity and shit like that. But Baker's been one of the few that's been able to withstand over more than one generation, and it withstands even when trends are changing.
We make the fucking trend. They don't change it.
It's true.
It's just like we all have the same brain of like how it's meant to look. And it stayed exactly the same forever. Girls clean, anti-hero is anti-hero, fucking like fucktards and shit like that. Like Baker was just kind of in between. In between fucktards and like anti-hero and Baker, and then girl. You got Spike Jones on this one. You got Beagle filming that one. But yeah, I mean, the Creature video is sick too. And then you got like that Hawaiian video that was fucking crazy too. Like, I forget what it was called, but that shit was completely way more than us, Fuck, what was it called? Do you remember
what company was it?
Fuck, I can't remember. But Andrew would know. Maybe he'll put a comment on this podcast. I doubt it, but yeah, I don't know. There's been way more like outlandish shit than what we did. But we just kind of kept it in between because we got the clean and the rough.